Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to do a self-wash with my dog Katie here, and she's excited. So let's get going on the self-wash, and I will show you how we do that, or you do that actually. Come on, Katie. Okay, first we have the dog here. So we are going to put the grates down. So because she's a big dog and I don't want to bend over and hurt my back doing that. And when you're doing your own dog, that's what you want to do. You don't want to like put your body forward a little bit. It's going to put a lot of stress on your back. So if you want to try to put your legs apart a little bit, that'll help, keep your body in proportion, and I don't know proportion, but it'll help with your washing your dog. Okay, let's get going. Okay, now we got the grates down. We have everything here that you need. We have an apron, so you don't get too wet. So we're gonna get going with wearing this awesome apron. And if you're coming to do the self-wash, you probably don't wanna be planning like a dinner party like 2 minutes after you're done, because you're gonna get hairy. If you have a hairy dog, you might get wet. You might get a bath with a dog. So let's get Katie in the tub. Come on, Katie. Let's load up. Katie, load up. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take her collar off. And we can hang it right up here on these little dog butts that we have for anything that you need to hang up. So what you do on the self-wash is once you have your dog in here, we want to make sure the dog's secure. So we're going to just put this little noose around her neck just to keep her where she's at. Now this works kind of like a shower. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn it on, rinse, check your temperature the way you need it. And then once it's on rinse, you get the temperature the way you want it, you're going to get your shampoo the way you want it. We have different shampoos. We have like a deodorizing, a de-shed, a hypo, and a conditioner. Today we're going to use the deodorizing. So we're going to push in and turn that to 1, and this is 1. So that's going to come out, and that's going to be ready to go. So once you turn it on clean, the shampoo will come out. And once we have the shampoo on, we turn this off, and then we're going to use the brush that we have down here, and we're going to brush the shampoo through. Once the shampoo is through, we can go ahead and rinse her off. And if we feel we need to wash her again, we're going to do that step again. And then afterwards, we washing her and rinsing her, we can do the conditioner. And then we'll do the same thing here. We'll just turn this to 4 and then turn it to clean. And then the conditioner will come out. Once the conditioner is on there, we can run the brush right through there again to make sure it gets all the way saturated through the hair. Just for a nicer, cleaner dog. Rinse again, and then we're going to start with the dryers, because we have everything here for ear cleaning. We have cotton here, we have a towel, and we have the dryer over here, which is a variable speed. And I usually turn it on the heat, because the heat will help get any undercoat out if you have a hairy dog, a double-coated breed. But it's variable, and I usually start on low. Depends on how your dog reacts to it, and then you can turn it up. And this is the on switch, and I will show you that in just a bit. So we have cologne here. We got paw wax. If your dog has a really dry nose, you can put that paw wax on afterwards, or even on their paws if they're getting really dry. And it also helps when there's ice melt out there. You get that off their feet, and then you just soften their feet up with that. So with that said, let's get going. Okay, it's ready to go. So we're going to turn this on clean. And then the shampoo is going to come on out. Some people like to have cotton put in the ears. That's a discretion that you would probably want to use if your dog has some ear issues. I mean, you can always put the cotton in the ears. You just stuff that in there. But we're just going to get her all wet I usually will not let the shampoo go right in the eyes, but we got to get the face. Because the first thing you do when you see your dog, what are you going to do? You go right to the face. If the dog has a stinky face, that's not very appealing. So you can see all the shampoo getting on her. All right, now we're going to turn her around. There, turning around, beep, beep, beep. There we go. We're going to get this side. All right, now we have that on. We're going to grab our brush here. And we're going to brush the shampoo to the skin. If they have longer hair on the legs, you want to get that shampoo all the way through. And with snow coming, a lot of times dogs love the snow. They're just like people. And they'll get snowballs and it'll make the hair mat up. Now, a lot of dogs, if they have a white coat, the whiter coat, the light colored coat is different than a darker coat. Darker coat is more coarse and the whiter coat is more cottony. So keep that in mind also with your breed, whichever breed that you have. So I'm brushing up. Sometimes if they're eating things with their paws, they'll get it like all khaki-like in their paws. Now, she has eye boogers, so I'm just gonna pick those out. I know it sounds gross, but we gotta do it. You gotta get it clean. If you have a comb, you can use a comb or just use your nails. Make sure you clean your nails afterwards. And we're gonna brush through the ears. Get that all done. And Katie does really good. She's used to being dried on a table. She's a retired show dog. We just keep her in a simple coat now. Just make it easy for her. Now also, with this self-wash, you can spend as little or as much time. If you only have 5 minutes, you can come in for 5 minutes. If you want to do an hour, spend on your dog, hour and a half, you know, it's all up to you. Whatever time that you have to spend on your dog, that's you and your dog time. Okay, we're gonna get the tail. So also want to show you, we do this in the grooming, is the anal glands. The anal glands are always good to do. And so since I'm doing her today, I will do the anal glands. But as a self-wash, if you want to do your own anal glands, you can do that. So if you look at a clock where the 5 and the 7 is, that's where their glands are, where the anus is at. And you're going to squeeze, you're going to push in, up, and squeeze, and pull out. And if that doesn't work, you're going to go up and over the anus, squeeze, and come out. So let's try it on Katie, and you can see it might be kind of nasty, but it's got to get done. So we're going to lift her tail, and we're going to push right here. I'll bring her bum over here. Never put your head right there in the line of fire because you might get it in your eye. It's not a pretty smell. So here we go. Up and out, and there we have all that. So we're going to rinse that off my hand because that's nasty. We're going to rinse this off her bum. The purpose of getting that done is it's just a healthy thing to get done, the anal glands on your dog. We're just going to get some more shampoo on her bum and make that smell better. A lot of times people, they'll have carpet at home and the dog starts scooting their butt on the carpet and people think, oh, my dog has worms. Well, a lot of times it's not just worms. They have full anal glands and they're trying to express them. And if you've ever had a ruptured anal gland, it's not pretty and it's not fun for the dog. So, but if you can do that yourself, that is more power to you. It's easy peasy. The vets will go inside and do it that way. but I don't do that. We just keep it like this, and if they need something more major, they can check with a vet to do that. All right, now that we got her soaked up, we're gonna rinse her off. Some dogs, like the Nordic breeds, like Malamutes or Huskies, sometimes they like to sing while you're washing them. They tell you the whole story, whatever's been going on for the whole week. So if you can't get in for grooming and you still need your dog clean, the self-wash is the way to go, because that's just a walk-in service. All right, we're gonna turn it back on clean and wash her one more time, just to make sure we got everything clean. Now we wanna just go down straight with the shampoo. We don't wanna go right into the ear because you don't wanna get the shampoo in there. It's not about speed when you're doing the self-wash. There's no hurry, time limit, unless you have set upon a time limit of yourself on how much you can spend, how much time you can spend on your dog. Now, for big dogs like this, it's $20 for a wash, and we can put you, if you're not already in our system, we can put you into the system with your phone number, and then when you come in, you'll earn points. So after 4 washes, you get 1 free. So the big dogs are $20. And if you have a smaller dog that you need to grade up higher, it's $15 for them. All right, let's turn her back around. And we'll get this side really good. It's very important to rinse, rinse, rinse to make sure you get all the shampoo out. And she is smelling fabulous already. She was looking a little scruffy. All right, now I'm gonna turn this off and we're gonna do the conditioner, which was on 4. So we're gonna push it in, turn that, and we're gonna turn it back to clean. And we're gonna add the conditioner. Conditioner's coming out. We're in a dry state here in Utah, and conditioner is always good. Just like for your own hair, you want that lustrous, shiny mane, and they want that shiny, lustrous coat. And a clean dog is a happy owner. All right, we're gonna turn this back to rinse in just a second. But we're gonna brush this through. Make sure we're getting that all clean. If the ears are longer, what they'll do is they'll get them in the food dish, water bowl, and then you have a lot of cack on the ends. So a lot of times you just have to brush that out. If you miss that step, you might not get the dog as clean as you want it. All right, Kitty, let's come back around. All right, we're good with that. Let's rinse her off. It's best to have a coat on the dog that is easy for your lifestyle. A lot of people will like the really long haircuts, so they like long hair. But if you're not willing to take care of it, someone ends up suffering. It's usually the dog. So we try to keep the dog the best length when you're doing haircuts for the dog. Whatever's going to suit your lifestyle. If you're going hiking every day up in the mountains, or you're snowshoeing or whatever, you don't want a really long coat, because they'll get, like in the springtime when it's muddy, they'll get all muddy, and then you have to rinse all that out. It's like washing your car once it's gone four-wheeling through the mud. And also, if you get your dog in the snow, playing in the snow, because they love that, they'll look like a snowball. So we want to make sure we get that done too. All right, so we're done with that. So next we're going to do a towel. So you can towel dry, and I always just squeeze. If you have a shorter hair dog, you can rub this towel and then dry it a little more. But when the longer hair, I like to just squeeze the water out. Okay, another thing we can do, we have happy hoodies we can use, or if you don't have the happy hoodie, we just put this around her head so she looks like, if it was red, it should look like Little Red Riding Hood. And look how cute you're looking, Katie. And this kind of protects their ears with the sound of the dryer. So you can always tie this around. If you want a happy hoodie, we can always loan you a happy hoodie. We don't have them out at the stations, but if you need one, we can do that. Okay, so this is what a happy hoodie looks like. There's bigger ones and there's smaller ones. So I'm going to show you how we use that. So we'll just put this towel aside here, and this just goes right over the head to cover the ears. Aw, isn't she cute? Oh, give a kiss. Oh, Katie. All right, now that we got that going, we're going to do the dryer and eat dog hair at the same time. So when you have your different breeds, they're going to be a little different when drying them. So I usually will put this dryer right next to the skin and just move it back and forth. If your dog's used to a dryer, you can turn it all the way up to the full velocity. If not, start off slow. This will help them, and start with the back end. It's best to start wherever you feel comfortable, but what I do is I start with the back end because that's furthest from the mouth, because nobody wants to get bit. But Katie would never do that because she's a sweetie. Okay, Katie, let's show them how it works. It's on low right now, just to show you, and we're going to put that right next to the skin, and we're going to go back and forth. I usually will do the head last because they're a little more sensitive with that. So with that said, I'm going to put the volume up. I'll get dry now. So what I'll do, like on a standard poodle, if a dog has a curlier coat, I will get them dry about 80%. And then that's when you can brush it and get that hair straight. We all like fluffy dogs. Nothing better than cuddling with your fluffy, clean dog on a snowy day. Rule of thumb always to remember is when you're drying a dog, or even if you have like a, there you go, do we get your lovely spot there to scratch? If you're drying a dog that has a double coat and hair's flying, I never chew gum while I'm doing that, otherwise you're going to get dog hair in your gum. But if you want your teeth flossed, you can always floss your teeth by chewing gum and work on a husky. And also you get hair in your mouth. You end up like choking up a hairball. What's easy also for you at home is when you come in for the self-wash, you just have everything here unless you want to bring everything that you want to bring. If you want to bring a towel or your own brushes, that's your, option to do. But we have all that available. And the mess is here, so you won't have to clean up the mess. You just come in, work on your dog, spend a little time with your dog, and go from there. I'm going to turn this off just because she's a little more, she's drier. She's about 80% dry. So what I'm going to do, what's great about these grates, is I'm going to pull this towel out. I'm going to move her over. And I'm actually going to put the grates up higher so I can fluff dry her a lot easier. So we're going to have her scoot over. Okay, Katie, let's come up here. All right. And because she's not going to go anywhere, I'm going to take her out of this because she'll just stay right here. This makes it easier to dry the legs. And this is optional if you want to do this. It's all whatever is going to be comfortable for you. I'm going to dry a little more like this, and then I'm going to get my brush, and we're going to start brushing. When you get it close to the skin, it gets the water away from the skin, and then you can pull this dryer out to see if there's any skin issues. Because a lot of times, as owners, we don't realize what's going on with the dog. This gives you a chance to go over your dog, see if there's any sores, any hot spots. if they've been where their sleeves are fixed, you can see all that. And you can see where I need to brush this straighter. And we're gonna get this a little drier, and then we're gonna dry her with a lower speed and get it all straightened out. Okay, come this way. Drying the face, I never dry right into the eyes. So I'll put the head down and hang on to the muzzle. And that way I can dry over the top knot. And I'll get the face. Now I don't put it right next to the face, so I'm just going to hold it a little bit away. And then here I'm going to grab the ear. I'm going to hang on to it so there's the air's not going right into the ear. And dry more of that. And then I can squeeze as I go down if there's any extra water. I'm going to do that with the other side. Okay, so this is pretty much where everybody stops, and then they're done drying their dog and they're ready to get on going whatever they need to do for the day. But we're gonna do her all the way through because I want her to be dry. So she can either lay down or we can grab another towel and she can lay down and I can dry her that way. Because I'm gonna brush that straighter so then she's nice and fluffy. So let's do that. Okay, now I put a towel down and I'm just gonna have her lay down. So with show dogs, it's a little different, but she's retired and she's a pet now. So, but what I wanna do is have her close to looking like a show dog as possible, that nice, pretty look. So I'm gonna lay her on her side. And I'm used to doing it as if it's a show dog. So you start with her laying on the left side, because that's the judge's side. And that way you get this all fluffy. And then the judge's side is done last. And that way it's really fluffy and it doesn't smash it down when you lay them down. So I'm gonna pick her up gently and lay her down. So she's nice and relaxed here. Now I'm gonna turn this on low, and that way I can use the brush. I have a brush that I really like, and if you have a brush that you really like, by all means bring it. But I have the Lapouche brush, which is good. Now she's starting to get a little matted, so we're just gonna So I'm going to take this nozzle off and turn it up. So that way it's more like a stand dryer. And that's good that the dog is just relaxed. Should probably take a nap. And this is actually therapeutic for you. Like if you have a lot of stuff going on in life, sometimes that time with you and your dog helps you think things through, or it's just calming. Because sometimes you just need a few minutes to get away from the craziness in the world. So I'm with this brush, and you can use this one too if you're going to brush it. This is a softer bristle, and this is a harder bristle, which is going to help me get it straighter. But for those that are just doing a self-wash, you can use this one because you want to just use it softer. Just so it's easier and there's no brush burn on the dog. So when brushing, you don't want to keep going in the same spot over and over. If you can go like 1, 2, 3, and then just keep moving it, you can kind of line brush. This is a fast version of line brushing. So you tap and pull with this brush. And get her belly done. So another thing I could do also is if I wanted to turn it lower. This is kind of an easier concept. If the hose would stay, but it's not staying, to a stander. We'll just have to hold it in the hand because that wasn't working. So I just have the dryer down, and this makes it easier so I can use both hands. I'm going to turn it up just a tiny bit so the dryer doesn't go flying around, but I want to get any snarls out that she's got. Then brushing back. If there's like mats or snarls that don't come out in a couple of swipes with the brush, you don't want to keep going over it and over it. A lot of times the hair is too long for your lifestyle. So when you're going to the groomers, just go just a little bit shorter next time on the length. Everyone likes the long hair, but nobody wants to take care of it. But it's important to brush this out. And if they need to get some airflow to their ear, just because they get ear hairs in there and you got to brush them out, just put your ear back so it can get a little air so it's coming over there. You don't want to just like put air right in the ear. Always put the dryer under your armpit to hold. This is how we used to do it in the old days back in dinosaurs when the planet. That way you have use of both your hands. So you can see where it's still a little curly there. You can always stop there, or you can continue on to get that straight. It's always best if you're doing it yourself. If you have a comb, you brush through first, and the way to check your work is with a comb. If the comb can't go all the way to the skin and pull any snarlies to your attention, then you might still have a few mats or snarls. I'm going to go sensitive right here in our personal area. I'm going to just go lightly with the brush there. I'm just going to dry these a little bit more before I start brushing them out. Now, if it feels like the heat is up too high, you can always turn the heat down low on the dryer, or you can turn it off. I like to start with the heat on, and if I need to turn it off, then I will. But that's where you're going to use your discretion. Now I have it on low, the dryer speed. That way I can do the face and the top knot. So when you're coming in for grooming, if we're doing this in grooming, the key is to get it straight. With a straighter coat, you're going to get a better haircut. Have you ever had your dog get a haircut and you know if they kennel dry the dog? When you look at your dog in a couple of days, you'll see hair sticking out. It's because it wasn't hand dried. And when the dog comes back in for grooming 6-8 weeks later, it should look just like your haircut, but longer. And if there's no hair sticking out, you know you did a fabulous job on that haircut. Just a little thought. All right, we're gonna get this one side done here, and then we're gonna flip it to the other side. Now with the ears, you wanna be careful that you're not brush. It's really easy because if the ears are slightly matted or even snarled, to go over it and over it. So I hold it right here. I know where the ear flap is at, so I'm going to hold it right here. So if I pull at all, I'm just kind of squeezing the hair. I'm not squeezing the ear. And that way you're not pulling on that hair on the ear. Because the ear leather goes right there. I'm just hanging right onto that. Now if you can't get the mats out within a few swipes or the snarls, maybe time to either shave the ears, demat the ears, which is a little more involved. Sometimes it's best to start all over with the coat and just shave the ears. I'm going to do the inside of the ear. You can see right where the ear leather's at. It comes right along here. Now with the longer coat, I do have a Stasco that I use. Not that I'm advertising for Stasco, but I do like that product. And all you need is a little bit, and the brush just kind of glides right through. There's different products out there you can use. There's like Shine On them for different products for different things. But you know what? We want to push the easy button. Just keep it simple. So the self-wash here is always best if you can't get into your groomer and your dog needs a bath. I mean, this is always open and it's a walk-in service. So whatever your schedule is, just walk in. We do close at 30 minutes before we close to give people time to get their dog washed and dried enough that they can go on about their day. Okay, right now, that's pretty close to being as dry as I'm going to get it right now. So we can move on to another area. So we're going to turn her around. Come on, Katie. Up. We're going to have her turn around. I'm going to have her stand for a few minutes. So you brush up, and then you brush down. Get that straight. You can go in little different ways. Going to put a little of this on. You don't want to spray it when your dryer's right on there, because what's the purpose? Because it's going to just fly everywhere else, because you just want it right on the coat. Oh, look how fluffy you are. We're gonna have matching hair, everybody. We're gonna have the same, but she doesn't have any horns, so that's okay. Your arm gets tired, you just switch the brush to the other hand. We do have a few people ask us if they can borrow our scissors because they want to snip something out of the dog. We don't loan our scissors out to anyone doing the self-wash. My opinion, I think you need to have a license to have a pair of scissors because we don't want to injure the dog. All right, we just got to finish this head here and this a little bit on the legs. All right, let's sit down, Katie. You want to sit? There you go. Good job. I'm going to feel all the way down to the skin. You can feel with your hands whether it's dry all the way to the skin. In the winter time, it's good to get them dry all the way because you don't want them to go out and get cold. And heaven forbid, if you wash your dog and you just put them in the backyard in the freezing weather, I've seen that happen and it's not a good idea. We believe these dogs are not just dogs, they're family members. They're more than just a pet. They're therapy dogs, our service dogs, our show dogs, family members. Same thing this year, we're going to go right to that ear leather. Sometimes if you need to go slower, you can just pull that to get it straightened. Just kind of pull and just go slower to get that dry and straight. Sometimes the fastest isn't always the best. It's getting it done correctly and the finished product. So just getting it from A to B. Okay, I'm gonna turn the dryer off. Take a look at our work here, see if there's anything else we need done. Yep, we gotta do right here. But she is looking good. Okay, beautiful girl. Okay, come over this way. There we go. All right, we're gonna put this back on so it's ready for the next person. We're gonna hang this back up here. We're just gonna run over with the brush again, because I think for the self-wash, this is plenty dry enough for her to go out and head back home and cuddle with Dad. Okay, let's come back over here. Let's double check this side. Okay, so that's our self-wash. So now that we're done with washing and drying, doing all that, I'm gonna grab some cotton. Now what I like here, the cotton, we don't do the cotton balls. I just get the continual cotton. And this way you can pull off a little or a lot. Depends on what you need for your dog and how dirty your ears are for the dog. So we're gonna grab 2 pieces here. We're gonna apply some ear cleaner, and then we're gonna do 1 in each ear. You don't want to go from one ear with the same cotton to the next ear in case there is an ear infection. You don't want to go into that. So we're just gonna go in as far as you can go with your finger. It'll be easier to see on this other side, so we're just gonna throw that in the trash. So here we go with this side. And then we're gonna go all the way. You can't hurt the dog at all as far as your finger goes. And then we're just gonna get all the way in there and clean all that out. So she's got some yeasty stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another cotton ball on that ear because we want it cleaner. If that's clean enough for you, okay, but it's not for me. So let's add a little more. And we're going to get that clean. She's got lots going on in that ear. This is why it's important to make sure you take care of your dog, get them washed, see what's going on with it. If it's a bad ear infection, you got to get to the vet. All right, it's not too bad. I don't want to keep going because she will not like it. Okay, now that that's done, we have paw wax. We can use our cute little thing here. So the difference, we can put a little bit on her nose. If she has a dry nose, you're just gonna put it on like this. They might lick it, but there's nothing in here that's gonna hurt the dog. And then the rest, I'm gonna come over here, wipe my fingers off so I'm not getting all this on the fur. And we're gonna do the paws. And we're just gonna put some on there. Like if your dog goes hiking and gets cut up feet, we have a healing salve. That is fabulous. It's like baby Jesus in a jar. So that's what you're gonna do. Get that soft in there. We're gonna put that on all 4 feet. You only need to put like a tiny little bit on there. So I'm just gonna rub it on my fingers and then just rub it on there. And then we're gonna have her turn around. We're gonna put some on this foot. Just so we're covering that. You don't wanna get it too much khaki in there because then it's just gross. Especially if you go right back out hiking with them. All right, now they have nice soft feet, so when they paw you, it's gonna be just like a love tap. All right, now that's done. The last thing we can do, we'll just close this up for the next person, is cologne. So we're gonna use this one today. And then I never spray it right in the face, and I always spray it a little bit over. So there you go. Now, Katie, how do you feel? All right, let's let her get out, and then we can see her run around for a second, and we can see how the self-wash went. Come on, Katie. She'll jump out. Most dogs don't. And so you can lift them out. But Katie, sit. You just gotta get her wiggles out. All right, that's our self-wash. We're gonna put our collar back on her, and thanks for joining us. If you like this, like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks.